Hi, my name is Shara, and now I will present about the introduction of strategy and human resources planning. First is strategy planning. Strategy planning is procedure for making decisions about the organization long-term goals and strategy. On the other hand, human resources planning is a process of anticipating and providing for the movement of people into, within, and out of an organization. So, strategic human resources management is pattern of human resources deployment and activities that enable an organization to achieve its strategic goal. So now we move on to the step of human resources planning. There are 6 steps, and the first one is mission, vision, and values. Second is external analysis. Third is internal analysis. Fourth is strategy formulation. Fifth is strategy execution, and the last one is evaluation. So in the first step, I will explain about what is mission, vision, and value. Mission is basic purpose of the organization as well as its scope of operation. Next is strategic vision. It's a statement about where the company is going and what it can become in the future. Meanwhile, core value is a strong and enduring belief and principle that guide firm decision and are the foundation of its corporate culture. Next, I will explain about HR roles in mission, vision, and value step. First is communicating them informally and formally via verbal and written communication. Second is recruiting and hiring employees whose values are consistent with the organization. Third is translating the mission, vision, and value into job description and behavior.
Now in this slide, I will be explaining about the external analysis. Here we have SWOT analysis. SWOT analysis is a comparison of strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats used for strategy formulation. It summarizes major facts and forecasts from both internal and external analysis. In the context of external analysis, SWOT helps organizations to identify opportunities and threats arising from the external environment. Now, another component of external analysis is the environmental scanning. Environmental scanning refers to the systematic monitoring of external forces that affect the organization. Through this process, organizations identify changes and trends in the external environment early, allowing them to respond more effectively. One important component highlighted here is the business environment. The business environment consists of external factors that a firm cannot directly control but that affect strategy and performance, such as economic conditions, technological changes, regulations, and competition. Now that we will have a look into step 3, the internal analysis. Internal analysis focuses on identifying the organization's strengths and weaknesses. I will explain about core capabilities. Core capabilities refer to the integrated knowledge and skills that differentiate a firm from its competitors and allow it to deliver value to customers. These capabilities are not easily copied and they play one of the important role in creating a competitive advantage. Meanwhile, value creation means the benefits added to a product or service after subtracting the costs. According to this model, value creation comes from a combination of 3 main resources, which are process, systems, and people. Process refer to the routines and methods used to complete work and achieve results. Efficient process help organizations improve productivity, consistency, and quality. The second resource is systems. Systems include information systems, databases, and proprietary technologies. They support decision making, improve efficiency, and help organizations manage information effectively. The third and most important resource is people. People refer to the knowledge, skills, and abilities of employees who execute the organization's plans. When employees have valuable and hard to replace skills, they contribute significantly to creating customer value and sustaining competitive advantage. Here, I'll explain on how organizations can sustain a competitive advantage through people. In strategic human resource management, employees are considered one of the most important organizational resources. However, not all resources can create a long-term advantage. According to this model, resources must meet 4 criteria. Firstly, resources must be valuable, meaning employee skills and knowledge help the organization improve efficiency, productivity, or customer satisfaction. Second, they must be rare, which means not many competitors have employees with the same level of skills or expertise. Third, resources should be difficult to imitate, so competitors cannot easily copy the talent, experience, or culture within the organization. Finally, the organization must be organized to fully utilize this human resource through proper systems, policies, and management practices. Now on another side, as you can see, it's about different types of talent that make up the workforce or as composition in an organization. First, strategic knowledge workers pose unique skills that are directly linked to the company's core strategy. They are difficult to replace and often play a critical role in innovation and decision making. Second, core employees are valuable to the organization, but their skills are more common in the labor market. Although important, they are not as unique or hard to replace as strategic knowledge workers. Third, supporting workers perform roles that are less central to creating customer value, where their skills are generally available in the labor market, and these roles often support daily operations. Lastly, complementary or external partners are individuals or organizations with specialized skills that are not directly related to the company's core strategy. The examples include consultants or outsourced service providers. Let's dive into this subtopic. Corporate culture. Corporate culture refers to the shared values, attitudes, beliefs, and expectations that influence how employees behave within an organization. One important way organizations understand their culture is through cultural audits. A cultural audit examines the culture and the overall quality of work life in an organization. Specifically, it looks at 4 key elements: values, attitudes, beliefs, and expectations. These elements shape how employees think, act, and interact at work. To conduct a cultural audit, organizations usually survey employees. Employees are asked questions such as, how is business conducted in the organization? How do people communicate with one another? And how are conflicts and crises resolved? The purpose of these questions is to assess whether the existing culture supports ethical behavior, effective communication, and a healthy working environment. Let's jump into the forecasting. Forecasting the supply of employees helps organizations ensure they have the right people in the right positions at the right time. 2 important tools used in this process are replacement charts and succession planning. First, replacement charts. Replacement charts identify current job holders and employees who are potential replacements if a position becomes vacant. Secondly, succession planning is the process of identifying, developing, and tracking key individuals who can fill critical executive or leadership positions in the future. Unlike replacement charts, succession planning focuses more on long-term leadership development. Both replacement charts and succession planning are usually developed through talent reviews. Talent reviews are strategic meetings held to evaluate whether the organization has the necessary human resource to achieve its future goals.
Strategy formulation in human resources planning refers to the planning stage where HR develops strategies to support organizational goals. At this stage, HR ensures that human resource planning is aligned with the overall organizational strategy. One important tool used in strategy formulation is SWOT analysis. Through SWOT analysis, HRs can evaluate internal strengths and weaknesses of the workforce, as well as external opportunities and threats in the labor market. This helps HR to identify workforce needs and skills gap more effectively. In the current business environment, organizations are facing rapid digital transformation and the increased use of AI. By using SWOT analysis, HRs may identify strong employee experience as a strength and a lack of digital skills as a weakness, training and upskilling programs as an opportunity, and talent competition as a threat. Based on this analysis, HR can formulate appropriate strategies such as targeted recruitment, employee training, and development programs to ensure the organization has the right talent to achieve its strategic objective. Corporate strategy defines the overall direction of a firm. It explains which market the company will compete in, who its competitors are, and how the company plans to grow. In today's business environment, companies face rapid changes such as digital transformation, economic uncertainty, and increasing global competition. Therefore, firms use different growth options to remain competitive. One growth option is diversification, where companies expand into new products or markets. For example, during and after the pandemic, many retail companies expanded into e-commerce and digital platforms to reach customers online. Another option is mergers and acquisitions. This allows firms to grow quickly by combining resources or acquiring new capabilities. For instance, many technology and fintech companies have acquired smaller startups to gain access to digital expertise and innovation. Companies also use strategic alliances where firms collaborate while remaining independent. A good example is collaborations between technology companies and logistic firms to improve online delivery services. Lastly, joint ventures involve creating a new entity with another firm to enter new markets or share risk. This approach is commonly used when companies expand into new international markets. While corporate strategy focuses on where the company competes, business strategy focuses on how the company competes against rival firms to create value for customers. So there are two main ways a company can increase customer value. The first one is a low-cost strategy, where companies reduce the cost of goods and services to offer lower prices. For example, budget airlines like AirAsia and online retailers use automation and efficient supply chains to keep prices affordable, which is especially important during periods of rising living costs. The second approach is a differentiation strategy, where companies increase the benefit or uniqueness of their products. For example, many smartphone and electric vehicles companies differentiate themselves through advanced technology, design, and sustainability features. Into the market, customers are more value conscious and digitally connected. So as a result, companies must carefully choose the right business strategy to stay competitive and meet changing customer expectations. Executing strategy is the process of putting planned strategies into action. The 4S framework explains how organizations do this effectively by combining human capital and organizational capital. Human capital focuses on people, like their skills, alignment with strategies, and ability to perform. Organizational capital focuses on the organization itself, like its structure, systems, processes, and flexibility. The first one is alignment. Alignment refers to how well employees understand and are aligned with the organization's strategy. The key idea is that everyone knows the strategy, shares goals, and is accountable for results. For example, during the COVID-19 pandemic, many companies quickly shifted to remote work. Clear communication of expectation and goals help employees stay aligned despite working from home. The second one is ability. Ability refers to the skills, talents, and leadership employees bring to execute the strategy. The key idea is that employees have the capabilities and collaboration that needed to implement the strategy. Like, for instance, tech companies like Amazon and Cisco in 2023 had to upskill their employees in AI and digital tools to remain competitive. It's showing that having the right skill is crucial for execution. The third one is agility. Agility is the organization's ability to respond quickly to external changes. The key idea is that the organization can adapt fast and stay flexible. For example, retail chains like Zalora and Shopee adjusted delivery, logistics, and customer service during peak online shopping season to meet sudden demand spikes. The last one is architecture. Architecture refers to the structure, system, and processes supporting strategy execution. The key idea is that organizational system and processes help employees work effectively. For example, companies implementing hybrid work policies use clear digital tools and workflow systems to keep the teams coordinated, and is showing that the importance of proper structure. HR plays a key role in executing strategy by staying agile and balancing workforce supply with demand. Remaining agile can be achieved in two ways. First, coordination agility, which is the ability to reallocate resources to meet new needs. Second, resource agility, which means using resources in different ways, such as employees performing different functions as required. HR also ensures supply matches demand. Demand is based on forecasted trend in business activity, while supply is determined by finding candidates with the right qualification to fill vacancies. Thus, by staying agile and balancing supply with demand, HR helps the organization execute its strategy effectively.
So now I will explain about step 6, which is performance evaluation and how the HR ensure the alignment in an organization. So evaluation is very important because it helps company measure how well they achieve their goals, and to do this, firm must set a clear objective and measure their performance. Some examples of the objectives are production levels, revenue and profit, market penetration, market share, and customer satisfactory. Next, HR must ensure the two types of alignment. So the first one is the vertical fit and the second one is the horizontal fit. So the vertical fit means the alignment between the business goals and the HR strategies. For example, if a business wants to focus on innovation, HR needs to hire the employee that have a creative skills and provide training that supports innovation for them. For horizontal fit, it is how to make sure all the HR practices are consistent with one another. That means it requires a training, perform management, and reward must work together in coordinated way.
Lastly, we're moving on to the balance scorecard. So the balance scorecard is a tool that is used for translate a strategic goals into a measurable results. So this tool is used to help the manager evaluate the performance in four main areas. Firstly, financial performance. Secondly, the customer perspective. Thirdly is the internal process. And lastly is the learning and growth. In conclusion, HR functions are essential because they are directly influence employees' performance, organizational effectiveness, and long-term success. By strategically managing the human capital through recruitment, training, performance management, and employee engagement, so organization can build a sustainable competitive advantage that competitors find difficult to replicate. That's all from us. Thank you.